There's so much positivity that has been flooring me. And every person talking about this season, I'm a longtime fan of Ryan's and of this show, but I'm really stunned by how much love there seems to be surrounding this project and this season and with you. I mean, everyone's saying what a light you are, that you walk into the room and you just give everybody so much positivity and energy. And also, you're working your ass off.
I love it. Give it to me.
Give it. So how has the experience been so far for you? And is it different in any way than you had thought it might be?
When you talk about love and being on this set, I just feel like I can't escape the material and the way that it brings us all together. And something that was so important to me when I got here is I really wanted to bond with the cast.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get to know them, and I wanted them to feel comfortable with me as a human being.
Yeah.
And a person, and know that I was going to be available and open to them, and that I wasn't going to come on set and be like, where's my makeup, where's my trailer, and be a huge bitch and make this the Gaga show. It's like that was the most important thing to me, was that didn't happen.
Right.
So I feel like we have all built this love for each other because we love the script so much, and we love Ryan so much, and we love all the directors and the DP, the crew, wardrobe, hair, makeup, everybody. So we're all just so invested in making sure we all feel comfortable,
right,
and all have what we need in order to execute the art.
Right.
And there, that's like just somebody talking dirty to me. Like, I was like, yes, get it right. I mean, I just love it. I mean, it's just so great.
Yeah.
And so I'm having a wonderful time.
You seem like someone who is so you're inspiring, I think, to so many people. But you seem like someone who is fearless. And yet this is a show that is all about fears. I know Ryan has said this season, for him in particular, is his greatest fear, that he's petrified of hotels and what might happen in hotels. But can you just talk about, you have so much strength that I think people find intoxicating. Is there anything that you're actually afraid of?
Well, the thing with strength is I think that in order to build strength, you have to usually have come from a lot of weakness.
Yeah.
So I'm actually extremely weak in a lot of ways, and extremely vulnerable, and extremely open and reckless and crazy with my mind, my emotions, my things that I make. I'm always like throwing everything that I have at it. And I was not actually that fearless when I first came to set. I was very nervous. I did the Oscars at the top of the year. I was very nervous for that. I prepared, and was like, I did that, and that was great, but I couldn't even like enjoy it because I was just still kind of in preparation mode after it. After it happened, it's like I wasn't even there. I was there. So I was just very nervous. I'm new to acting,
right,
in a lot of ways. I'm not, because I studied it for like over 10 years. I know that sounds ridiculous. That I know I say I've done a lot of things, but the truth is I was a Renaissance woman since I was, maybe 4. Classical piano, and then, acting classes at 7 or 8, like little things, ballet. And then I started to do Strasberg method, which is, a method acting. And then I went to Tisch school and did musical theater, and I wrote songs. And then I've always been someone that was interested in the arts.
Yeah.
I wasn't fearless, but I have all this training in these other areas. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to set, and I'm going to know my lines perfectly.
Right.
But not too perfectly that I can't keep it loose and live in it. And I'm going to really read the out of these scripts over and over and over, 10 times each at least. My friend Eamon from Chicago Fire told me, and Monica Raymond and Taylor Kinney, my fiance, they've all got me ready as well. And I said to myself, I'm just going to go in there and I'm just going to be her. And I'm going to bring to her what I know from my life as much as possible. And what I know from my life is I do know isolation, and she is extremely isolated, and so am I, because I'm famous, and it's kind of hard to go, be normal all the time. And when you meet people in public, 99% of the time, people aren't that interested in really getting to know me. There's sort of, a wall between us that they think something of me that I'm not. I'm really just a human being that makes this stuff.
Right.
And so I get to learn through the character and through being here about how to be as fearless as possible for my own survival.
Right. I love it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In order for me to survive my own isolation as a famous person, I need to find how to survive through her.
Right.
And, she's very evil and she's very cunning. And does that mean that I have to be cunning and evil to survive? Or does that mean that I just have to have agility within it, or be like a serpentine, which is maybe partly evil because it's a serpent, but also has agility because it moves and it slithers. I don't know. I've learned so much being here, and I don't know if I exactly answered your question, but that's a sort of preview into what it is like being around here. Is everything's kind of related and a bit tangent, and it goes together, and it's like a big puzzle that we all sit together like a atelier, and we couture it.
I love it
in here.
I am curious because I know you wanted to come on the show and you were a fan of the show. But you also must know from Taylor what TV work was like, that it can be very long hours and, a lot of people, it's a lot, I think, for a lot of people. But I'm just curious, did you have conversations with him about wanting to get into this show? And were there any other shows that you would have considered, or this really felt like sort of a passion project for you because you were such a fan?
Yeah, well, Taylor has been exponentially supportive the entire time, and he's just so cool, I mean... what guy in that scenario would be like, sure, babe, do TV, he does TV, that's his thing. I do music, and, we're together, but I sort of was like, is it cool if I do TV? And he was like, yeah, we can read scripts together, and we can talk about our characters together, and I can teach you, how to be on set. And he taught me all about etiquette and what actors would appreciate during their coverage. He taught me to make sure that I was always available fully to the actors when I was working, so that when the coverage is on them, that I don't drop my character, that I'm always in it and for them. And, that's invaluable advice. And, the cast of Chicago Fire, like I said, Monica and Eamon and Taylor, they've been my true friends. They've just, along the way been by my side and helped me to make a transition. Also, I mean, can you imagine going from feeling isolated all the time and working constantly and being on tour and doing stuff like that to then being living and breathing and having true exchanges and emotions and real life drama constantly all the time, even though it's fake, it's I'm still having exchanges with people and looking them in the eye and feeling, and just like you are right now. When we sat down, you said people often tell me that they wonder if they knew me before, and it's because you're available. And when you're not around people that are available to you, you shut down. So here I am, and now I'm not. I'm on.
I love it. Last question, I just want to ask about the future for you. As far as, would you be interested in doing another season? Because we all understand how the show works. Every season's different. We don't know.
I think I'd like to do one great acting project a year, if not, Yeah, I think one probably.
Yeah,
I think one a year would be great. I'd really like to do a film. Now I'm ready to do a film, but it's about the right people, the right project, the right. I want to take some time and write something and make it. What I want to make a great piece. It's just so not important to me to just be, in acting and music and be that. I don't know. Person that does both things. It's just having that on my roster is not important to me. I really genuinely love it, and I love writing songs. So it's just going to be the future for me is very good because I have Bobby Campbell by my side, my great manager, and he keeps me so rested and focused and happy and with my family. And all I would say honestly is and I haven't said this actually in an interview yet, and I really wish I should have. I really hope that, more than anything from that anyone could take away from me being on Horror Story, I'd really, really like for artists and their managers and, you know, people in any industry to know the importance of caring for people that you work with and keeping them in a good mental state and taking care of their health and making sure that we're all okay. You know, it's important to work hard, and, you know, making money is important to survive. But what's more important is that we support one another through the challenges of life, and I'm happier than I've ever been now because the people that I work with really, really care that my life is different. And really, really work to make sure that I feel as normal as possible so that I can have a great time and just be a normal girl and just be a woman for Ryan on film or a, you know, a hemophiliac.